Hey guys, what's up and welcome to the review of the Alfawise T1 Gemini Lake N4100 Mini PC, and this is the full review. So if you want to know a little bit more about the build quality of this box, or the ports and stuff, you can check out my unboxing video here, which I do have a lot of information and unboxing information about the Alfawise T1 itself. But for now, we'll talk about the software and how it performs. So first we have Windows 10, as you can see, and what we're going to do is we are going to open Device Manager and take a look at what kind of disk drives we have in here. And as you can see here, this is a SanDisk DA064 eMMC drive, not an SSD, but you can put an SSD inside. And you also have an Intel wireless dual band AC3165 network adapter, which also does work, so no problems there. And of course, you have lots and lots of USB ports. Now, if we were to talk about performance here on this actual device itself, I gotta say that the Gemini Lake is really bottlenecked by the eMMC. You can see that there is a tiny bit of lag when you open stuff. It's not super snappy, like on a powerful desktop. You can see it takes a little bit to load Internet Explorer, and even slower to load something like Chrome, for example, like this. Takes a little bit of time. And of course, if you open something bigger, for example, Asphalt, or even something like GIMP, that will take a long time. So, I really do think that companies like these mini PC companies like Beelink and Alfawise, they really need to put better quality eMMCs, or even just an SSD straight up into their cheaper ones. Just put a 64 gig SSD. It's not that expensive, and you get insane performance on this, as shown on other N3450 processors, laptops, or even mini PCs, which do have SSDs or even mechanical hard drives for that matter. And now let's talk about performance in Internet Explorer and then Google Chrome, or sorry, Edge and Chrome. So what we're going to do is we are going to open up YouTube and watch some soccer. And as you can see, internet's super fast because it is a wired connection straight to the router. And of course, we're going to go to trending. And as you can see, it takes a little bit to load everything. And it's not the smoothest experience, but it's still okay. But now let's watch the England versus Sweden highlight. So as you can see, the performance in Edge for 1080p video is pretty good. You can see that it plays well, it's good. But as you can see, it takes a very long time to actually get out of full screen and back into regular screen. So let's play a 4K video and see what that looks like. And I'm expecting this to be able to play a 4K video absolutely no problem, which it really should. It is a Gemini Lake after all, and it's using Edge, which is good as well. So it is playing 4K, as you can see, and can't really tell anything because, oh, there we go. So it's playing pretty good. As you can see, it's smooth. You do see, oh, there we go. There's a little bit of lag there. That could have been due to the internet though. But still, as you can see, it's good. Yep, right now, this looks like Edge, or the Gemini Lake, can handle 4K very admirably in YouTube on Edge. But, let's test it out on Chrome and see what we got. And so opening up Google Chrome, let's look at what we got here. We'll go to YouTube and we'll play the exact same clip, England versus Sweden at 1080p, and see how that works. And we'll look at trending. And we'll go here. I gotta say that YouTube loads a lot faster in Google Chrome than it does in Edge. But as you can see, it takes a little bit for the playback to start becoming smooth. At the beginning, you could see that the playback was pretty choppy and rough. So we've got that to consider, but now it's perfectly fine and it looks pretty good also. Yeah, so it looks like Chrome has no problem handling 1080p. And we'll see how long it takes to actually exit it by clicking on the exit full screen. And it takes a lot faster than Edge. So it just looks like Edge has very bad Chrome optimization compared to, Edge has very bad YouTube optimization compared to Chrome. And let's see how well it handles 4K, because if it can handle 4K, then we are looking at something that is very good. Because the Apollo Lake N3450s could not handle 4K very well. And so let's wait and see if it starts getting better. And look, it does. So it looks like the Gemini Lake processor here is definitely better than the Apollo Lake because now it looks like it can handle 4K. There is still a little bit of, jitteriness. As you can see, sometimes it would stop and keep on going. But I gotta say that right now, it is good. It's smooth. So if you do want to watch 4K in Chrome, which is the better experience, I gotta admit, because YouTube was built with Chrome in mind, whereas Edge is a little bit on the kind of outskirts, if you could say that. So it's good. It looks good. Let's again confirm, yeah, we are at 4K. And you can see that it's smooth. But whenever I move the mouse, you'll notice that it starts getting a little bit laggy because it's trying to process something else. But once you let the mouse go, it starts becoming smooth again and no problem at all. So looks like Gemini Lake processors can definitely play back 4K in Chrome, which is a big improvement over the Apollo Lake processors, which could not. All right, next we're going to look at GIMP, and I have here a 6,000 by 4,000 pixel photo, which is actually fairly big. So we'll see how that performs here. And you guys might recognize this picture because I use this quite a lot when I'm testing out the cell phone displays, the one with Times Square. So as you can see, it's a little bit laggy as I'm scrolling in and out of the photo, which, it is a big photo, so I did kind of expect that. Let's go to something simple. Let's go to colors and we'll mess with the brightness and contrast. So I'm gonna click here and see what happens. Bang. So as you can see it's very slowly working its way down. Here, let's click on contrast and keep your eye on the picture itself. Look at that. Let's click on brightness again. So it's not too fast, but it's definitely, usable if you want to edit photos in a pinch. Let's go to something else. Let's go to blur and we'll do a Gaussian blur. And here we'll do something nice and big. And as you can see, that was actually not too bad, considering it's a Gemini Lake processor, N4100, so I'm really actually pretty impressed. So if you do want to do photo editing on this, you actually can. And again, while we're loading up Asphalt Extreme, here you can see that it gets a single core score in Geekbench of 1794 and a multi-core score of 5042, which is actually not that much more than the N3450. You're talking like 15% more. So it's not that noticeable, especially in real life. So let's play some games now. All right, so this is 4K at 30 frames a second. And as you can see, it's super choppy, super laggy. You're talking like 10 frames a second. So definitely unplayable. So let's bump down the settings and then we'll try again. All right, so I have everything set to lowest possible and we'll see what it looks like. This right here is a 720p, I believe. And it actually performs decently. I can still detect a little bit of lag, It's definitely, the frame rate here is, jumping around pretty wildly, especially when something happens. As you can see, I couldn't even turn properly because my frame rate was jumping like crazy. So, or maybe I'm just a bad driver, you never know. So frame rate here is still not super good. As you can see, in my opinion, this is not playable. This is definitely something that is not, this is not a good gaming experience. So if you want to play stuff on the Gemini N4100 and you're looking at, something that's a fairly intense game, then you probably don't want to use this device itself because it's really not that powerful. If you want to play League, that's probably not going to happen, especially on this device. If it can't even handle, Asphalt at, low DPI, low settings, low everything. But if you want to play random stuff, fairly less intense stuff, maybe like Stardew Valley or maybe even like FTL, that will work great. So yeah, so this is definitely not a gaming machine, but if you want to do some casual gaming, then this definitely is the thing for you. So last thing before we end, and we're talking about the download speeds. And as you can see, the download speeds here, you're looking at 74 megabits a second for Asphalt Extreme. Divide that by 8, you're looking at something like 10 megabytes a second. And of course, I downloaded 1.47 gigabytes in like 4 or 5 minutes. So very, very fast, no problems at all there. And of course, the the 3165 AC from Intel also worked very well. All right, so that was my conclusion for the Alfawise T1 Gemini Lake box. This is the cheapest box you can find. I think it's like $190 on sale, which is an insane price for such. Okay, it's not a great box, but if you're paying $190, this is a very good box for the price. You can get better boxes out there, but you're paying a lot more money than what you find on this one. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to hit like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to make sure you're notified of any of the latest videos that come out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.